Well, hello there, everybody. Good evening. Can you guys hear me okay? Hi, everybody. All right. Hopefully you can hear me and the sound is good. We are just getting things kicked off. Hi. Hello. All right. So I'm going to apologize in advance because I've got a little bit of a cold. I'm going to try not to cough through this entire thing, but I am excited. I am very excited to kind of bring you guys a different perspective on creating vision boards. And before I get into that, I want to make sure that I actually hit record because I'd be really upset if I didn't record this. And I know there's some people that couldn't be on live. So all right, so it is Monday, January the 15th. We are halfway through the first month of 2018. It's hard to believe, right? Hard to believe that we're already 2 weeks into January. But, you know, one of the things that I love to do is I love to provide training and help my organization and people around me to set up a game plan and a structure and a marketing plan and be able to kind of roadmap out the steps that they need to get to their goals. And, you know, once we create that framework, it's really up to the individual to make it happen. So I feel like we build the framework and we set them on their way and we teach them how to fly. And I will say one of the most fulfilling things that I have been able to experience in the past 6.5 years of being in this business is not only seeing individuals that I work with on a product basis achieve their personal goals, but watching people on the business end of it be able to accomplish their goals too. And I know that nothing comes without a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment in order to make that happen. So tonight I'm going to teach you some of the things that actually have helped me to be able to get to that point where I was able to visualize the goal, take action, and then sort of some of the checkpoints along the way. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing this evening. So I hope you guys are ready. And I am going to very simply just share my screen with you. I've got a little PowerPoint presentation that's going to take you on the journey this evening. All right, let's get started. Perfect. Thank you, Susie, for telling me the sound is good. All right, so you guys tell me if you can see the screen. You should be able to see. It says Vision Board Party on it. If you should see that, just give me a thumbs up there and we'll be good to go. All right, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Melanie Mitro, and I help other people achieve not only their health and fitness goals with a company called Team Beachbody, but I also really love training and I love teaching people how to build a business. And I've really began to branch out, created a business page. It's Melanie Mitro, where I do training every single week. I do a business tip Tuesday. I will provide training documents and motivational quotes and strategy, you know, kind of what goes on in my mind. And then I have a podcast, the Women Inspiring Women podcast, that I do every single week that puts out content to help other women entrepreneurs as well. And so that's just sort of this part of my business that I'm really enjoying. And I just launched in January a 5-day goal setting course. And it was hands down the best thing I've ever done. It was so much fun to create content for people that were ready to set goals and make them happen. So this vision board is kind of the next step, right? So once you begin to say, this is my definition of success, this is what fills my cup, then you can sort of move into the strategic part of building that vision and making that happen. So I'm glad Leah and Amy, you guys love the course, right? And are now working on this. This is the next step because we really have to visualize our success in order to make it happen. I have 2 little boys, Landon and Bryce, and they're 7. Landon or Bryce just turned 7 yesterday. Landon is 8. He'll be 9 in March. I live in a little small town in Western Pennsylvania. And I made my very first vision board in 2011. And I'm going to actually share a little bit of that tonight because that was a big driver of success for me. So I will show you that this evening. All right, so let's dive in and let's get started. So first and foremost, the power of intentionality is what I want to start with. So when you think about anything you want to accomplish in your life, how many of you have ever done something and you were successful at it and you literally, if you think like you were eating and sleeping and breathing, every waking minute that you were awake, all you could think about was that thing that you wanted or that goal you wanted to achieve. So I think about, I think about this story of when I was in high school. So I always wanted to be a cheerleader, a dancer. I always wanted to do ballet and tap and jazz, and all the girls that I was friends with at school, their parents paid for them to be able to go and take these classes. And our family couldn't afford that. All right. My dad was a construction worker. He owned his own business. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. And we just basically sort of we survived. And in the winters when there wasn't a lot of work, I can remember my mom dumping out my dad's jeans and counting the change and looking for the change so we could buy gallons of milk in the winter. I just remember it was rough. My grandma made our clothes. Our grandparents really helped us out and took good care of us. And I remember how much I wanted to be able to afford those things. And I know my parents wanted that too. And they worked very, very hard to eventually be able to provide things for us that, were outside of their comfort zone. My dad went back to school, my mom went back to school. And eventually in junior high, I was able to sign up for my very first dance class. And so I was probably in 6th grade when that happened. And most girls were way far advanced at that point. I was definitely behind the 8 ball. And I can remember not loving it as much. And I did 1 year of dance, and I remember I did jazz and I did ballet, and that was it. And then I said to my mom, I really want to be a cheerleader. And so I signed up for all the free clinics that I could go to at the high school with the high school cheerleaders. And, I found this team that was a travel team. It was basically like a club cheerleading squad. So basically, if you paid the money, you could be on the team. It didn't matter how good or bad you were, right? So I paid the money, I figured out how to make it work. Did all the fundraising. And that entire year, I practiced so hard. I can remember going into my bathroom mirror and standing in front of my mirror and practicing my high V's and practicing my low V's. And I would do the cassette tape, and I would record the music, and I would stop it and start it, stop it. I would do my 8 counts over and over again until I had the moves perfect. And I toe touch after toe touch after toe touch. I would practice all of the fundamentals over and over and over again. And that was just my life. I was eating and sleeping and breathing cheerleading. And I went through that whole year, and it was rough. We had a crazy team of people that were in and out, girls that were like half committed, but not really committed, people that would quit if it got hard, a coach that yelled at us all the time. She was mean and nasty and screamed at us. And I can remember that the group that I ran around with, my girlfriends at that time, they decided that they were going to quit. They quit halfway through that season. And I was like, my parents raised me to be that girl that never quits anything she starts. And you see it through. You see your commitment through to the end because you made an obligation to the team, and you're not going to be a quitter. Even if you say to yourself, I don't ever want to do this again. And so I did, right? I stuck it out. And at the end of that season, we went to Disney, and I went with my mom, and we cheered on the stage in Disney. It was so much fun. But I said to my mom, I'm going to go out for the high school cheerleading squad, because now I was like older at this point. And so my mom, she didn't say anything. I don't know what she was thinking in her mind, whether I could or couldn't actually make the squad. But she said to me, she's like, yeah, go for it. If that's what you want to do it. And I can remember doing my hair, getting my outfit just perfect, tying my bows, taking my cassette tape to the first day of tryouts, and visualizing myself as a part of that team and doing those moves. And I watched what every girl did. And I just watched them, and I practiced, and I watched them, and I practiced, and I went home, and I went into my bedroom, and I played that music over and over and over again. In the mirror, I watched my facial expressions. I did the moves, practiced my high V's, my low V's, toe touch after toe touch. I stopped to eat dinner, went right back in, practiced over and over again. Most of the girls that I knew were out having a good time. They were meeting their friends out at the local restaurant, the local diner. They were hanging out with their boyfriends, not me. I was like, if I am going to make this team, I'm definitely the underdog. I have not cheered other than this competitive squad for high school ever. I have no background in this. Who am I to deserve this spot? And I just visualized. I visualized the success. I visualized my name on that roster of cheerleaders. I just visualized making that happen. And what I did was that power of intentionality paired with hard work. But I just visualized it. No matter how hard it was, no matter how many times it took me to get the 8 counts, I never gave up. And on the day that they announced the list of people that made the squad, I was on there. Now, I was absolutely the last person before the red line of where they cut people, but I made it because I visualized it. I visualized the chants. I visualized the cheers. I visualized my smile. I visualized being a part of that team. The power of intentionality, of positive thinking, of an I can do attitude is what is going to eventually become your reality. So if you sit there and you say to yourself, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, so-and-so's prettier, so-and-so has blonde hair, so-and-so has a great family, so-and-so has a babysitter, right? So-and-so already has a great social media. That is, you are focusing, you are putting your energy and effort into the wrong direction. We want to start shifting your focus into an I can do attitude, power of intentionality, your vision board. And what we're going to do tonight should represent your dreams and your goals and your ideal life. And can't and won't and I don't know and I'm not sure. I don't think I can I'm cut out for this is not a part of this vocabulary. All right. So that's number one. Anytime you start to find this, I can't do it or I'm not good enough, you got to stop that. You got to visualize a stop sign and you have to look at this vision board that you're creating and you have to say to yourself, my dreams, my goals, my ideal life, I'm worthy of all of those things. And the more that I tell myself it's going to happen and I see myself in that moment, the more likely it actually will come true. When you give a visual to your goals, it is more likely because there's that visualization. That visualization is what makes your dreams the reality. And of course, action too. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a vision board tonight. And then our goal is to look at it daily. And I want you to visualize it coming true. You know, the very first vision board I created hung in the storage closet, the storage little area in our townhouse where I worked out. And every morning, that was the first thing I looked at. And then it eventually became my tiny little office. And every day that vision board hung across from my desk. And I looked at it and I visualized myself in this tiny little storage room in the back of the garage where I worked out. And now where I was building a business, I visualized my success. And it happened not because I had a fancy car or a big social media following or a supportive spouse. It happened because I did the action. I didn't lose sight of my goals and my visions. I took action on that every single day. So that's what my hope is for you all, is for that to become your reality too. Amen? Amen. All right, so let's get into this. There are some steps to creating a vision board. This is the first thing that we want to do. Step number one, I want you to create a list of goals. How many of you have done this process where you have your goals and you know what you would like to achieve in the next 12 months? How many of you have that already listed out? So what I want you to do is, if you haven't done this step, I want you to sit down and say, what makes me feel fulfilled? What makes me feel fulfilled in my life? What is my definition of success? So some of you may be a part of the company I'm a part of. Some of you may be other companies. Some of you may be just entrepreneurs. But I want you to take a step back. I want you to allow yourself to erase what everybody else around you has ever told you what the definition of success should be. And I want you to say, what makes you happy? What makes Amy Ackerson happy? What makes Linda happy? What makes you happy? At the end of the year, if you accomplish these things, and maybe there are 3 or 4 things, how are you going to feel? And that is your definition of success. It could be, and it very well can be materialistic. It can be financial. It can be personal. It can be health. It can be business-wise. It can be spiritual. But I want you to ask yourself, what do I want in life? What do I need? What do I value? How do I want to feel in your relationships, your life, your career, health, social, education, all of those areas? So this is where you're at right now. And I want you just to free flow write that out if you haven't done it yet. And if you have written your goals, I want you to take a step back and read your goals again. Pick out the things in there that really are going to define your success. The things that really do make you happy. And I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do I want that income? Why do I want to earn that trip? Why would I like to buy that car? How is it going to make my life better? How is it going to make the people around me and the people I come in contact with on a daily basis? How is that going to enrich my life? Now, Once you have that done, once you know what your definition of success is and why you want to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, that is when you move on to the next step. So if you are sitting here right now and you're saying, I don't actually know what makes me happy, and I don't really know what I'm passionate about, and I'm just sort of grasping at straws, then it's really time to take a step back and have that conversation with your spouse, your significant other, yourself, doing some reflection about times when you were happy and what did make you happy during those moments. Maybe you want to ask somebody else for their feedback. When do they see you most joyful? When do they see your face light up? And when you're on fire, like when are those things? If you don't know what they are, ask somebody else to say, what are my gifts? What do you think I'm good at? Because I guarantee the minute you start to ask people, you will find out what those gifts actually are. All right. So the next step, number 2, is this. How will you make your board? Are you a virtual person? Are you somebody that is going to use Canva or PicMonkey? Or are you somebody that is corkboard or a piece of poster board, and you want to be crafty and you'd like to clear out a space on your kitchen table or, on the floor, and you are going to cut and paste and glue? So I think that's the next step. If you're not tech savvy and you don't like that kind of stuff, and it sounds like it would frustrate you more than it would excite you, then don't do something virtually. Don't make a vision board on Canva or PicMonkey, because that's stressful to you. If you like to cut things out and glue them on a piece of paper, that's what you should do. So now I'm asking you the question, how are you going to make your board? Virtually, or are you going to do a cork board or a piece of poster board? So that's in step number 2. You got to decide what you're going to do. Then you're going to need to go out and get all the supplies. So if you're going to make an actual vision board and you want to cut things out, this is what I do. I spent a Saturday morning sitting in my office. I actually did a vision board for my fitness. I actually have multiple vision boards. I have one for my business. I have one with my business and my personal life. And then I have a fitness board. Saturday morning, I sat down and I did mine on a cork board, like Amy just said that she does hers. And so what I did was I thought of things that made me feel strong. I thought about the bathing suits that I would like to wear. I thought about the words that represent the way I view health and fitness. So 6 years ago, I would have printed out a picture of a girl with perfect abs and perfect boobs and a nice butt, and she'd be wearing a bikini. All right. I put on that vision board that I will have a 6-pack, right? I put on that vision board, be in the best shape of my life. Those were the things that I talked about. That was my definition of success. But now this year, when I sat down to get in preparation for the new program that we just started today, I posted a picture of a tankini, actually a 1-piece cut out like on the sides. And I was like, that looks awesome. If I can rock that with my butt, like being lifted and, not feeling saggy or droopy, and I feel confident and there's nothing hanging out over the side, like that's my definition of success. I printed out that bathing suit, a picture of that bathing suit. Went on to Nordstrom's, typed in bathing suits, found one that was like, that is sexy in my eyes. That's confident. That's like that. She looks good in her skin. That's what I wanted. Then I printed out some words, and actually I should have taken a picture of it. It's in the basement, but I printed out words like strong, healthy, food is fuel, right? Working out is my stress relief. I talked about, never giving up on there. I talked about seeing things through to the end. I also printed out pictures of the Success Club trip, the Riviera Maya trip we're going to go on here in April. I printed out another picture of our family vacation we're going to take, my happy place, the tropical. So what I did was on Saturday is I gathered the words, the photos. I spent the time finding the pictures and the words that actually inspired me, that evoked emotions. When I think about reaching my ultimate health and fitness goals, I also think about sipping a cocktail on a beach in the Bahamas or in a tropical island, or Bora Bora. Like that is my happy place. That instantly makes me smile. That instantly makes my face light out. I'm like, I want to go there. So maybe for you, it's a ski resort or it's hiking in the woods. Think about what's your happy place, and so you want to start gathering photos and words that are going to inspire you and evoke emotion of things you want to have in your life. On that goal board was my children. that fitness board. Why? Because when I look at my kids, I'm motivated. I don't want to be a quitter. I don't want them to see me quit. I want to inspire them to keep going. And so my family, right? That's another one on there too. Things that I would like to be able to do. Certain fitness, gear that I'd like to buy, a new pair of Lululemon pants or an Athleta sweatshirt or a new pair of Nikes. Think about the things that are going to be my rewards along the way. Those go on my vision board too. So gather the supplies, whether you're going to sit down tonight while you're watching TV and you're going to cut out magazines and find words and phrases, or you're going to go on Pinterest or on Google and you're going to print out some words and things that are going to go on this vision board. But that's your next step. Your vision board is the next thing you need to do is gather up those supplies. Now, the third thing you're going to do is it's time to create it. When it's time to make this happen, here's what you need to do. Please don't do this after a really long day at work when you got into an altercation with your boss or your kids threw the ultimate tantrum or you're fighting with your spouse. You want to create a vision board when you feel inspired. So that may mean you need to take yourself to the basement or to the spare room and you need to do a yoga session. You need to go out and run if you're a runner. You need to do something that releases negative energy. Maybe you meditate, maybe you do a lot of that. Maybe you turn on the music and you dance and you sing and you just get the stress out. Then the next thing you do is you're going to create that space where you're going to actually put these images and words onto paper. And I'm going to share something with you. So when I created my first vision board, this is sort of how it went. I was sitting at my kitchen table, and at my kitchen table were two other friends, and then my husband was in the background. And I'm cutting out these pictures, and our children are running around and screaming, and it was wild and crazy. My husband's in the background, and he's going, yeah, you can't accomplish that. No, you can't do that. That's silly. You're never going to get that trip. You're crazy to think you can pay off your student loans with that stupid little side business that you have. Those were the words that were coming out of his mouth. And that whole time that was happening, I'm thinking to myself, can I really do it? And that's not positive. And then I would get angry. And I'm like, I'm going to show you, right? So it did kind of fuel my fire. But don't put yourself in a position for criticism when you're creating your dreams, because it's really not up to anybody else. A vision board is for you. And you should never feel guilty for putting something on that list or wanting something more, regardless of your past failures and your past mistakes and things that didn't go your way, because there are going to be many more of those in your life. But what you really can do right now is create a space where it's great music, people that inspire you, where you can get your images and your words on paper and you can feel really confident and good about that. All right. And what I want you to do is use words. Add words on there that you want to feel daily. So for example, joy, peace, patience, kindness, leadership, friendship, right? Faith, whatever it may be, volunteering, donating, whatever it may be, ministry, writing, teaching, anything that is sort of words that make you feel powerful, words that make you feel confident. And these are some of the fearless, powerful, confident, freedom, peace, joy, love, happiness. Those should sort of be intermixed in there so that it just reminds you, these are the affirmations that I am working towards. These are the words. And then you want to have pictures that go along with it. Now, here's one thing that I encourage you. If you say to yourself, love, like for example, maybe you haven't found that significant other yet, right? You haven't found your partner. What you can do is you can say, love is going to be my word because I want to find somebody. And you don't need to go out on the internet and find the guy that you want to marry, like a picture of a guy. Picture what symbolizes love to you. Is it holding hands as somebody's walking down the beach and the sun is setting? Does that make you feel love? Is it snuggling on the couch by a fire in a cabin in the woods? Does that make you feel love? Like thinking you can find images that evoke that emotion. If it's having a baby, maybe it is a couple pushing a stroller on a walk and you're like, that makes me happy. That brings me joy. So you can find photos that represent what you would like to have in your life and a picture of what that would like, especially for freedom. What does freedom look like for you? For one person, it may be riding down the interstate with the top down. To somebody else, it might be cutting up all their credit cards. So freedom to each of us also is very different. All right. So now, once we have this done, once we've filled up all the pictures, we look at that and we say, all right, is that what I want to happen? Does that bring me joy? Do I look at that? Does it evoke panic and anxiety, or does it evoke like excitement because I'm ready to crush these goals? It should make you excited. It should make you a little uncomfortable because it's pushing you outside of your comfort zone a little bit, but that's the point. Because if we always play it safe, we're never really going to change, right? We're always going to remain the same. So now, once we've created this vision board, the next step is we got to look at that dream board often and feel the inspiration that it provides. How many of you have ever created a vision board and then you put it in a closet and you never looked at it again? I know there are some of you. I've done this on team retreats with my team. I'm pretty sure they didn't go home and hang those vision boards up. I never saw them again. Nobody's ever talked about those vision boards. Do you know what? Maybe they were embarrassed, or maybe people were like, I don't know what my spouse is going to say or what my kids are going to say. No, darn it. You hang that sucker up on your wall. You hang it on your bathroom mirror, or you put it somewhere where you are going to look at it every single day. When you wake up, when you go to bed, when you want to quit, because you're going to want to quit, like, you got to own it. You got to own the goals that you want to have happen. And then you got to hold it in your hands. And you really have to internalize the future that it presents. Like, if I can pay off my student loans, that is $30,000 that I can invest in that beach house that I want to buy in Florida. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to visualize that beach house in Florida and sitting on the deck and watching the waves roll in. And hearing the kids playing down by the water, or, the smell of coffee in the morning, right? You visualize the freedom that debt being gone is going to provide for your family. Every single day you have to look at that. That's the point. It's not, creating a vision board isn't something fun you do to post on social media and say, I created a vision board. It's because this is what you want your life to be and you're willing to take action on it. And then read those affirmations daily and inspirational words out loud every day. Miracle Morning. How many of you have ever done the Miracle Morning? If you haven't, get that book. Hal Elrod is the author. And every day I read my affirmations to myself. I am powerful. I am strong. I'm a humble leader, right? I do not have anxiety. I have strength. I will get through whatever obstacles that God places on my heart today, right? I read my positivity, my inspiration every single day out loud with conviction. I am statements, not I will be, or I want to be, or I hope to be. It is I am. I am confident. I am going to be financially free. I am a great leader. I have joy in my life, right? I am at peace with my decisions. Those are things. I am courageous. Those are things that you want to say over and over and over again so that you see yourself living in that manner. You got to feel it for yourself. Believe that it already has happened. Be grateful for the good that is already present in your life. How many of you spend your days wishing for the next event? The next milestone, the next raise, the next shiny object, the next workout, the next diet shake that's going to just make the weight fall off for me so I don't actually have to exercise. We're always looking to what's next, right? And when we don't ever stop and say, my God, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to put my feet on the floor, to have air in my lungs, to be able to walk out of my room and hug my kids. Because some people don't have that ability, right? And some people are alone, and some people are going through rough things right now. Whatever you have in your life, be grateful for what you have in the moment. Sure, I can look at all the things that I'm struggling with right now, but I choose not to. I choose to look at the joy, and I choose to be grateful. Your vision board should remind you of the things you're grateful for as well. And then don't discount the goals you've already achieved. So often we reach a goal and we're like, all right, on to the next, right? We never stop to celebrate. Make sure you create checkpoints along the way. Buy yourself a new shirt, get a new pair of shoes, finish 30 days of a new program, go outside, go get yourself a new pair of Lululemon pants, right? You owe it to yourself. Save your money. Save your money up. Go get yourself something nice. You deserve it. Acknowledge the goals that are achieved. And acknowledge the changes that you're feeling so far. Those are very important. You really have to say to yourself, like, I see the changes are happening. I might not be at the end result yet, but I certainly know that I am working my way there and I am going to get there. So the next thing that we want to do is this. Step 4 is creating the vision board. actually writing it down and making it real. Well, write a make it real list. Sorry, I totally said that wrong. Step 4 is write a make it real list. How many of you are great at reading personal development, but you're horrible at implementation? How many of you are great at listening to every training call and YouTube video about the business that you are in right now, but you're awful at implementing it? You will continue to stay in that place. You will continue to create vision boards. You will continue to take goal setting courses. You will continue to search and search and search for the answer to success. But do you know where the answer actually is? Go take a walk, go into the bathroom, and look in the mirror. There's where the answer is at. It's in you. It is you saying, I see the vision. Now I got to face it. I got to say, it is time to do hard things. It is time to take action. Because if I want to be somewhere different than where I am right now, I can't just wish for it. I have to take action. What are you going to do right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, or when Monday rolls around or when February 1st is here because half of January is over. No, darn it. I don't want you to go to bed tonight until you do something that is going to make that vision board, those things on there, become a reality. One step, one day at a time, one activity. Make it real list. And then every single day, ask yourself, what am I doing that is bringing me closer to the goal? Or is how I'm spending my time in the day bringing me closer or further away to the things that I really want? And if you create a gut check for yourself, you're going to also find that you are going to begin to say, that does not fit in line with my vision or my definition of success. And that is not an activity that I should be investing time in. What I want you to say is, what on my list can I control? Because clearly you can't control what other people do, what people in your organization do, the numbers that they produce, the income that's growing from your team. What you can affect, what you can control is your activities, enrolling and inviting and the follow-ups and what you put on social media and what you put out there. Your vibe eventually will attract your tribe, but it does mean you're going to have to be patient in the process. So it only works if you actually take action. Creating a vision board works. It really does, but you've got to take action. So let's talk a little bit about that, all right? I'm going to actually stop my screen share and I'm going to share with you a little bit about when I created my first vision board in my business, right? So I created it for the year 2012. And yes, I did my vision board on a piece of poster board. Oh yeah, I've saved this bad boy. You remember when I told you at the beginning about the girl with the defined abs? There she is. This is my vision. You see the girl with the nice bum? There she is. What are both of these women wearing? They're both wearing bikinis. Neither one of those are realistic in my life because I'm a mom and I've got a lot of stuff underneath there. And I just don't want to show it anymore. That's not what defines success to me. All right. But if you look at my vision board, 2012, my dream board, 2012, on here, I had trip in September, qualified. That was leadership. All right. I had best body. That's not too bad, right? I had number 1. I want to help change 50 people's lives. I actually circled that. Do you know why I circled that goal on there? Was because I felt like if I did this goal, it would help me reach all these other goals. Like hit Success Club 12 months out of the year. Success Club 10, 12 months out of the year. I knew that if I was helping 50 people, I was going to be able to do that. This picture of the beach chair is me earning the Success Club trip. Right? Even though it was like Disney World, that was success to me. Sitting on a beach. Do you see my kids in the background? Those aren't really my kids. That was a picture I found, right? Got that out. I glued that on there. Look, live your best life. In my mind, that was success to me. Living my best life, right? And then we look, finally having defined abs. We got that over there. Make $5,000 in 1 month. That was a big goal. That goal scared the living daylights out of me. But I wrote it on, and that was the one my husband laughed at. But I thought to myself, I can do this. I can make this happen. If I stay focused, I'm going to make it happen. Crushing my student debt, pay off my student loans, right? Meet Shalene Johnson, win a Team Beachbody Cup, go to Summit, exhale. Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. Live for the moment. These are all the things that I define success. Owning our first single family home. And I'm going to walk you through this. And I'm going to tell you this. Do you know what did not happen in 2012? I did not pay off my student loans. We did not buy a single family home. I did not make $5,000 in 1 month in the year 2012. I changed 50 people's lives. I did earn that trip to Disney that changed the way my husband viewed my business opportunity. I didn't get abs, but I certainly developed the confidence to be able to rock any outfit that I would like. And that to me is now my definition of success. You know what? I didn't become a top 10 elite coach that year, but I did become an elite coach. I was in the top 0.01% of the company that year. And you know what else happened in that following year? I did make that $5,000. We did write that check to pay off our student loans. I did become a top 10 coach, right? I achieved the 4-star diamond. We qualified for the trips. And it may not have happened exactly in the time frame, but this sucker hung on my wall. You can still see the tape in that basement wall. Every day I looked at it, and every day I yelled at it, and every day I said, I can do this, no matter how hard it was, and how many times I failed, and how many people told me no, or how many people said my dreams were stupid. I never lost sight of the fact that I believed that I could do it. And I looked at that and I was like, if I pay off that student debt, my life will drastically change. The way we have free time, the quality, the arguments that we have, they'll go away. We'll be able to take vacations. We'll be able to save for our kids' futures, right? You know, we were living in a tiny little townhouse. And sure, I put this mansion on here because that's what I wanted. That was my visualization of the house that I wanted to live in. But you know what? We got that the following year. We got that house because every day, morning and at night, I did what Amy just commented. I took action on my goals because I wanted to make a change more than I wanted to stay the same. And I know so many of you right now are saying to yourself, I got big goals. I got big goals and I want to make them happen more than I can ever imagine. Well, you got to get to work. You got to get to work. You have to say to yourself every day when your feet hit the ground, I am blessed to be alive. And I may not have all the answers right now, but I will figure it out. And I will look at this vision board and I will say, I am a 4-star diamond. I am an elite coach. I am a successful entrepreneur. I am a business, I am a book writer. I am an author. I am a mom. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant and have kids, right? Whatever you want to become, the power of visualization is so strong. And you can't let obstacles stand in your way because you're going to fail. And I failed at a lot of those things, but I just never lost sight of it. And I realized hey, it just might not be my time right now, but my time will come. And I will be patient and I will work hard and I will apply consistent pressure and effort over time in order to produce the results. So what I want you all to do is I want you to leave this vision board party tonight and I want you to go out there. I want you to create that vision for your life. And I want you to share it with somebody who supports you. And I want you to put it in a place where you're going to look at it every day. And you are going to speak to yourself as if you've already owned that house, that car, that vacation home. You've paid off that debt. You are wearing that dress you want to wear on your wedding day, whatever it may be. I want you to speak to yourself as if it's already happened. Because the more you visualize that, the more it will manifest that in your life and the more it's going to become a reality. All right. So this is what I want you to do moving forward. And if you want to tag me in it, I want to see it, but don't feel like you got to make it public, but just promise me you'll do it. And then after you're done, after you create that vision board, after you have your goals, I want you to do one more thing. Will you promise me you will take action? Will you promise me every day you will say to yourself, am I doing the activities that are moving my business forward? Or am I managing and wasting time? Am I getting stuck in comparison? Am I getting stuck in what other people are doing? Or am I redirecting myself back to the personal development and professional development and creating an environment where I thrive, an environment where I feel empowered and uplifted? Only you have the ability to take action and change the game for you. So with that being said, I'm in the process right now of creating my vision board for 2018. And so some of the things that, and I'm going to show you, I mean, it is really, really not done yet at all. Like I just started taking these things and putting them on there today. So look, I just put my name at the top, my vision board for 2018, right? And then I just started taking some words. And this is on an app called or canva.com, right? And I'm just going to play around with it until I get it to be what I want it to be. And joy is really important to me, right? You know, I've got patience on there. Sometimes I am not a patient mama. Faith is really important for me this year, right? You know, this is another one. It's creating healthy habits, not restrictions. For so long, I have been that girl that has, you know, stuck to a plan and has gone all in and has given up everything that she desires and everything she loves just to get to a goal. And I still think it's important to stick to a program, but I think it's more important that we aren't creating this dieting mentality, that we're creating this food freedom, that we are empowering women to live a healthy lifestyle and not a restrictive one. Because every time you tell yourself no, it's like negative reinforcement. So I'm trying to reinforce that. All right, guys, there's that bathing suit I was talking about. There's the bathing suit. That's the confidence. That's what I want, right? So maybe you need to go out there and you got to put that bathing suit on there. What is it that you want? Where's that swimsuit at, right? I want to see that in there. Is that what's going to make you happy? You can see the picture of the vacation that I want to go on with our family this year, right? So I've got the vacation picture. I got the bathing suit there, right? Family is really important. So I was in the process of uploading. There we go. There's my family. Do you see that? When I look at that, that's joy. That is joy. That to me is like, that's it. That's perfect. I want to look at my kids every day and I want to say, I want their mama to be proud. I want to create an environment where they are proud, where we're living a life that is joy filled. And I'm teaching my kids, you know, how to live a faith-based lifestyle, right? So there's the joy. I'm just going to move that over here. I'm actually going to move that to the front. Let me arrange that to the back. So this is it, right? And this isn't the final thing at all. I'm going to put some of my goals on there. This is my team, right? Leadership is really important to me. That's a goal, you know, something that I have been working on very diligently this year is just elevating my leadership. I'm going to put some of the things that I want to attend, places I want to go. You know what? I cropped this to be the size of my screensaver. So this is going to become the desktop of my computer. So if you want to know what the size should be, it's actually 2560 by 1440. That is the iMac desktop. That's what this is going to be eventually when it's done. I'll show it to you guys once I finish it. But to me, this is kind of where my head is at right now for 2018. And yes, I'll put on there the tangible goals too, but I wanted to get my words. I wanted to get things that just popped into my mind, the things that, you know, where am I going in my life? What is the next sort of step for me? Where do I envision my life being? And I'm going to add things like speaker and author and writer and, you know, YouTuber, blogger or podcaster, whatever it is that I want to do, training expert, life coach, right? Wherever I see myself going, I am going to write that on there because I know that those things will become a reality if I will them to be. All right. So Lindsay actually did say that, but I'll type it again. So if this is an iMac, this is a desktop. All I did was Google it to figure out the dimensions, but it is 2560 by 1440. You should see that right there in the comment section. So let me ask you this. You know, it's 8:45. We've been talking for 45 minutes. As you watch this vision board presentation, what sticks out to you? What questions do you have? How can I maybe give you some clarity to where you should be going in your life? Is there any questions that you have for me? I would be more than happy to take some time to answer those. I'll take about 5 questions if you've got any questions. If you don't, you are more than welcome to head on out. And also, here's the last thing I'll say before you guys go. Here's the thing. if you go to melaniemitro.com and you subscribe to my website, I will send you updates as I'm creating the next goal setting course, as I'm doing additional training, as I'm rolling out throughout the year, other courses. So stay tuned. Make sure you visit the podcast. But here's the bottom line, guys. The bottom line comes down to you can create pretty things. You can have a pretty vision. It can be all fancy and well placed and perfectly aligned and centered, but it really is about taking the action. So don't worry about perfection when you're making your vision board. Just get the stuff up there, and you can see mine is not like super beautiful. That one that I made, that was me. That's Melanie that cannot craft to save her life and is not artsy whatsoever, but I just needed to get it on that paper because that's where it needed to be. So take the action, take massive action. Go get the book, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and you discipline yourself to say, my goals are bigger than my fears. My faith is bigger than my fears, and I will make this a reality if I continue to take action. All right. Okay. I'm going to go down through and I'm just going to read this very quickly and then we will finish up. All right. So you're welcome, Julie. To me, it seems like the most important step, Monica, is actually to take action. It certainly is. Take action. Reach out to those people that you have on your mind that you should invite. Reach out to follow up with those people you talked to last month, right? Add those new contacts. Make that vulnerable social media post that tells your story. Don't be afraid to take action and then to do it every single day. It really makes a big difference. All right. How do you add your vision board throughout the year? How do you add to it? Well, if you do the cork board or I just add things on there. If it's on Canva, I just pull it back up and you can just edit it. You can take things off and add it and delete it. You have that in sort of your file that you are able to do that. Other sites like PicMonkey, you can't do that. So so you can't make that one's kind of set in stone. But with Canva, you can do that. So yes. All right, let's see. I actually like that first vision board you shared was really not super crafty. Yeah, and that's the reality. Like that's raw. That's the unfiltered Melanie. This one definitely is a little bit prettier, and I've also gotten better at social media, so I know how to work it a little better, and it's a lot less intimidating for me now. And I sit at my computer, but I do have that vision board downstairs that is a cork board that hangs in my workout space, and I'll take a picture for you and I'll share it with you tomorrow. Have you and your husband created them separately, then compare? Tammy, my husband is not a vision board person. He is not a talk about the future and goals in life. We financially budget and he kind of keeps it in his head. I'm the one that creates the vision boards. I do the visualization. I'm the one that's like, let's talk about our goals. And he sort of sits there and listens to me. And I know he listens and he takes it in, but that's not his jam. So I would never be like, come on, babe, let's make vision boards together. We may talk about our goals and where we're going, but this is definitely more my thing. I am one of those who reads all the PD and listens to the podcast, but I procrastinate and I have not persistent. Yeah, Monica, that you're not alone. And I would say probably 85% of society is that way too. And the thing is, you are that way. But what determines whether you stay that way or you change is your ability to call your own BS and say, I need to just actually apply this stuff. I need to catch myself in the act of continuing to read personal development and tell myself to go apply. Or maybe you say to yourself, all right, I'm going to do the vital behaviors of growing my own business first, and then I'll reward myself with the next social media training or the next personal development book. So maybe your personal development, if that's what you love, that becomes a reward after you do the work. Thanks so much. Tomorrow is a bad weather day in Texas. So myself and my daughter, good. And then you know what? Craft it for your kids too. Ask them what they want to accomplish this year. Ask them what they want to do with grades or what rewards they would like to have or what trips they would like to go on. We do go out to dinner every Christmas Eve and we talk about our goals for the next year and trips we would like to take and things we want to do as a family. And so we do actually discuss that. So it's perfect. When your name is announced on the National Wake Up Call for Weekly SC, how many points? I don't know what week it was that they announced that, Amy. I have no idea. I don't know if it was this week or what. What's the name of the book, Dawn? It's the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. He is awesome in audio. So if you just download that audiobook, if you Audible, that is a really awesome one too. 5-Second Rule. Would you suggest? Yep, I've read both 5-Second Rule and Miracle Morning. They're both great books. It depends on where you are in your journey. If you are not taking, they're both going to be good. You can read them both. How do you overcome the need to find the perfect plan? I'm not a perfectionist. I don't have that problem. I have the ability to say it doesn't need to be perfect. Taking action is more important than perfection. Anytime you try to create a perfect plan, it's not going to be perfect. You will always find something wrong with it. The cycle of success is you have a really exciting new idea. You try it, you fail at it. But when you fail at it, you say, what did I learn from it? You revise the strategy. And then you get this revised, exciting idea and you try it again. And so if you can get over that need to have that perfect plan and just say, I'm going to find the perfect plan through the process of trial and error. I just need to take action. So it's, again, a mental obstacle. 5-second rule would be great. Give it the 5 seconds and off you go. All right. One more question. Let's see. How high level do you make your goals for the vision board? I already have my goals written out and they are broken down by actions and tactics that I'm going to measure. So when I'm putting my visions together, these are like the things I want to accomplish. And I know that in order to accomplish those things, I'm going to have to hit all those little things along the way. Those are going to be my actions. So I already know what it is that I'm working towards because I've done the process. Like at the beginning, before you create this vision board, you have to say to yourself, what do I want? What are my goals? Am I willing to commit the time that is necessary to accomplish them? Am I going to make the sacrifice? Or am I writing this goal on my vision board because it's what my sponsor told me to do or what my best friend is doing or so-and-so is writing a book, so I think I'll write a book too. That sounds like a great idea, but you're like, that doesn't bring me joy. So you got to ask yourself, are the things that I'm putting on there things that I actually want to accomplish? All right. Cheryl, you'll have to take the goal setting course. How do you know what the right actions are to take? So that, you have to say to yourself one of those things, Cheryl, Ann, is like interviewing people that have done what you have done. If it is something like getting 3 new customers to buy my hair care products, you want to ask somebody that successfully sells that hair products and you say, how did you do it? How many people did you invite? What did you say to them? So it's that process of figuring it out to find the right actions. What did it look like? What are the activities you did in order to get there? So that is really, really important. All right. Okay, guys. Sherry, you don't have to email it to me. You can I was going to say, just tag me. And if you're going to make it a social media post or anything, then yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. Right. So, okay, guys. I think if you don't have an available upline, do you feel seeking mentorship is necessary? Or should I focus on continuing to be the leader? I think you need to really lean into being a leader, and absolutely everybody should have a success partner. So I do think that going out and finding somebody that can compliment you, that can push you, that you do not complain with. A success partner is not a complaining partner, but there's somebody that gives you that gut check and says, get your crap together. You said you were going to do this and you're not doing it. So let's go. Right. So I think having a success partner is great, but it needs to be functional. It needs to have a purpose. And you don't need an upline. Everybody should fire their upline because you have the ability to build your own business, to find the answers, to implement, to get out there. It doesn't matter if you don't have a tribe or a team, you create that. Like you are in the trenches doing the work. You create the kind of vibe that you want to attract your tribe to. It's totally up to you. All right. So on that note, guys, I want you guys to go have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I want to see those vision boards. Again, just share them on social media, share it on Melanie Mitro, right? I want to see them. I want you guys to accomplish those goals. And I want you to come back a year from now and be like, I did it. And tomorrow on the podcast, we're going to be talking about full circle moments. I want you to have a full circle moment where you visualize the success and you made it happen. Like I want that for you so, so bad. All right. Okay, guys, have a great night and I will see you all later. Take care. Bye, everybody.